Hello and welcome to the exciting world of Black Ops 3, where we meet our new rough and tough soldier named Player, who we never actually discover his name throughout the whole game. Right off the bat, he gets abandoned by his teammates, attacked by a rogue robot who then begins to tear off his left arm, then his right arm, then completely shatters his right leg, then mercilessly starts beating on him over and over until his savior, Taylor, comes to save the day, who then introduces him to the world of the Matrix. Armed with new cybernetic abilities, he will now train to hone his new mental and physical powers.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
Now armed with machine gun arms, killer butterflies, he now vows to not stop until he wipes out every single bit of technology that stole his precious living limbs away from him. Find out on these adventures of Black Ops. Wait a second. None of this is an actual story. Alright, let's get to the review. Hello everybody, what is up? Prof here. Welcome to a review of Call of Duty Black Ops 3 for the PlayStation 4. Alright, so right off the bat with the presentation of the game, it is truly excellent. It takes place after the events of Black Ops 2 and basically far more into the future, where all your physical and mental abilities are far more advanced than they were in the second one. To where you have basically the ability they have this thing attached to your spine where you can literally communicate through your brain, literally have a whole virtual space with you just sitting there. You can also sit there and hack into any computers, upload information, turn your hand into a torch, and then along with your physical abilities to basically, of course, you have your cybernetic arms, which are ridiculously strong. You basically have your legs that are modified where you could run along walls, use boosters, and everything. So just the abilities of the game alone are freaking excellent. You basically start out the game partnered with Hendrix, along with your main player, who's literally named Player, who does not actually have a name. And as to why he doesn't have a name, they don't explain, but the ending kind of makes you wonder, like, oh shit, what actually happened? So yeah, so basically, after you basically got your arms torn off, after you accidentally got left behind after rescuing an ambassador, Taylor finds you. He basically kind of rescues you, puts you into a medically induced coma, and basically hooks you up with your whole new cybernetic abilities and the whole thing where you can basically hack in anything. So right off the bat, he teaches you how to use all these new abilities, takes you through all these training simulations, and shows you how you can take advantages of all these new abilities that you now have. But right after that, you get put back with Hendrix, where you basically go out to investigate a secret Black Ops site where you are basically trying to figure out, like, okay, we need to wipe out these secrets, wipe these drives, because somehow this stuff's getting leaked. But basically, once you go there, you're like, what the actual fuck happened? Because you look, and there's literally just skeletons sitting there that are hardwired into this whole virtual testing, which is basically the beta of which you have now in your brain. And then you also find this room of actual people with their eyes torn out, and you're going like, what the heck actually happened? Once you actually find out what happened through the security footage, it kind of leads to show that Taylor's team might have actually is responsible for all this. So basically you're going, and then the whole thing that happens with their team is they're doing all this because they're basically infected of some sort of virtual entity that basically is slowly taking over them and basically making them do all this. So you have to go out basically slowly, one by one, taking out each and every one of the teammates, which you have to read their basically sync with their mind and find out what they know, which basically does kill them. So at first it seems okay, it seems normal. Then once you get, I forgot what her name was, but to the female character, and you read her, all of a sudden it throws you into the frozen forest. And you have this whole tripped out looking scenario where you're basically following her, shooting all these like weird virtual soldiers, and you're going through as she's explaining all this stuff with you. And then you hear Taylor basically slowly going like, hey, just relax, let your mind slowly slip, be peaceful. And then somehow, I don't know how they thought of this, but they mixed the zombies into the main campaign. Like, it wasn't like a big part of it, but there was a part where you're in a house and you're actually having to fight off all these freaking zombies. So I was just like, okay, this game's getting freaking tripped out. So as you're going, basically after you do all that, your character Hendrix happens to get infected by the same thing. And slowly, little by little, it's affecting him more and more. But then he assures you, no, I'm fine. So as the game keeps going, it starts getting more and more like deeper into the story, because you're trying to figure out how to catch Taylor where he's at, because Taylor's basically leaked out a ridiculous amount of information, and basically all the robot drones and robot soldiers that they have basically been completely taken over by him. And basically by then you're fighting an all-out war just trying to get to Taylor. And then finally when you get to the whole fight with him, he walks up, you're thinking, oh crap, my arm's stabbed into the ground, I'm gonna die. He sits there and literally rips the cybernetic, God, I wish I remember what the name of it was, but basically rips it out from his neck, and then he like falls to the ground, like, no, it's okay, but wait, there's still you. And then basically Hendrix basically does something that was completely unexpected, and basically you're now chasing after Hendrix through the rest of the game, which is like 3 months. I was like, what the so now he's my enemy? So you're going through all this stuff, and then eventually the game, once you get further enough, after chasing him for a while, you get fully thrown into a whole virtual universe where you basically see the whole entity that's been infecting everybody. And then you're basically trying to go fight through them. They're trying to basically convince you, no, man, just give in. It's all right. It's all right. Then out of nowhere, another character basically shows up where you go like, holy shit, but he's not supposed to be here. And so you're going through him, fighting with him. And the game is just super action-packed and is, I don't know how to put it, but it's just amazing. The story is like super deep, far from what I expected out of a Call of Duty game. Alright, so the next part we're going to get to is the graphics of the game. The graphics, see, like I already know PC Master Race people are going to say, it's so much better on the PC, the graphics are amazing on PC, you can run at 1080p, 60 frames a second, 4K resolution if you want to. But no, honestly, on a PS4, these graphics look ridiculously well. The facial animations, just the ground, everything looks so freaking detailed and clear. So I was surprised. I'm running this on a 720p TV and it looked amazing. So the graphics are top notch. I love it. It's so freaking amazing. The sounds of the game, I've been using my Turtle Beaches is to basically put on superhuman hearing to hear each individual sound, and basically sound, the music, this ambience of the game is truly amazing. I just love it. So yeah, so all in all, it's basically just been amazing. Yeah, so like with the music's pretty good. The only thing I would say is with multiplayer, if you're planning to upload some of that on Facebook, don't do the music for the lobby, because for some reason that's super copyrighted. Don't know why. But anyway, so next part of the review, we're going to be getting to the gameplay. The gameplay was, as I've already said, majorly awesome. Like basically, Advanced Warfare had the whole boosters, which was kind of cool, but I don't know. I don't feel it was like used as well. This game, all your abilities are truly took advantage of. Basically, through the multiplayer at least, you get to sit there and use your boosters. You can get a running start, basically slide along the ground, be able to turn yourself around and start firing at the enemies, run along walls to get to places that you probably wouldn't have been able to get to before. And basically, all the weapons aiming is super spot on, well done. And yeah, as for this campaign, the gameplay, of course, is still excellent. But my only thing I don't like is the fact that your main character doesn't actually get the ability to run on walls or sit there and use the boosters like Hendrix does. So I was like, okay, that's kind of lame, but whatever. I'm going to look past that because it's honestly not a big deal. Okay, and as for the campaign, you get a set of abilities which you can basically have 3 different ones where you could either up your like speed and strength. You could sit there and use it to hack enemies' biometrics, which basically either disables them. You can take control of the drones, some of the tanks, and also sit there and use it just for a slew of other things, which basically makes you able to take advantage of a lot of the situations. Like there's one where when you're fighting the robot drones, you can sit there and disable all of them, or I think you can do like 2 or 3 at a time. Basically, use that, or you can sit there and run up to them, rip out their core, throw it, which throws out a blast, EMP blast that basically disables them, which pretty much makes them explode. So all in all, the gameplay was excellent in this game. They did really outdone themselves in this game. As for frame rate or anything like that, it seemed perfect to me. I did not notice a single stutter in the frame rate at all, which I was like, yes, this is awesome, this is amazing. Everything was super smooth. Okay, so as for the lasting appeal of the game, honestly, even after you go through the whole story mode, there's still far more to do in the game. You got your nightmare mode, which is actually a whole separate storyline where they sit there and let you go through the whole. It's kind of like almost sort of like the storyline, but they changed it with the whole and put zombies in it. So basically, you're going through. It's kind of like your zombies gameplay, except you start off with a pistol. You eventually kill zombies, get more upgraded guns, get skulls that basically make them explode on contact, but your health is like far more reduced because it only takes a few hits from the zombies to actually kill you through this part. And for the most part, it seems like it's using the story from the campaign, but basically changing it to where it's like, yeah, they're basically now taking down all the defenses that we had that were keeping the zombies out away from the living and basically allowing them in. So you're basically going through trying to solve this. So this the fact that it has a whole secondary story campaign with the zombies is freaking amazing. And on top of that, you still have the zombies mode by itself, which has even more stuff to it. Then on top of that, of course, you got the multiplayer, which the multiplayer, from what I played, is pretty awesome actually. It's the most fun I've had in a while. Basically, for the most part, matchmaking is pretty good. I do wish there's a bit more of the levels, but because well, of course, I think it's all due to the players. They like a certain amount of levels, and you basically get to play those repeatedly. And of course, if you got it like I think around launch, you got the Nuketown, which of course is always fun. It's always been fun. And yeah, as for anything like spawn killing, I had ran into a few issues sometimes where I happen to spawn right in front of an enemy and I die right away. But other than that, it hasn't really happened. I haven't noticed any hacking in the lobbies or anything, except for, the occasional noisy people who are generally annoying, but you can just mute them. So on that, the game has a long-lasting appeal, and quite honestly, I don't know if it's still on sale now, but I got it on sale. I've seen it on sale multiple times for about $40. So the fact that if you can get it for $40, shit, even $60, this game is well worth it. Is an excellent addition to the Call of Duty series, and especially in the Black Ops series, is Treyarch's once again outdone themselves. So as for our overall score, I'm gonna give this game a 9.5 out of 10. Like I said, the only thing I think that stopped it from getting a perfect score was I think my small gripes with not getting to be able to run along walls or using boosters in the main campaign. But other than that, this game is excellent. If you were on the seat or hesitant about buying this, don't be. Go ahead and get this game, and you're going to have a blast with it. Alright, folks, so that's about it for my review. I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, because it helps a lot. And I will catch you guys later.